Hello everybody, it is your boy Lytic, and today we're going to be building a prism mine for Dencraft. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. And to start out the mine here, we're going to go ahead and begin building up these mountains to kind of create an oval sort of shape. We're looking to do a little bit of more of a nature sort of scene, so I wasn't quite sure on how high to stack up all of the mountains. Sorry Dan, but you're just going to have to deal with it, alright? So let's go ahead and continue onward with building up Dan's lovely looking mine as we add a little bit of overhang here on the edges just to add that final touch up on the top of it. Make what a sweet looking mine. Now here on the bottom we're going to go ahead and fix this up so that it isn't so tall and we can kind of smooth it out so it doesn't look so spheric on the inside. Sorry Dan, I know you like making your mines out of spheres, but you can deal with it, okay? I mean, yes, this is your server that we're building it on and all, but you can just deal with it. Alright, and now that we kind of got our little bit of a message through Dan out of the way, I'm currently using Voxel Sniper and World Edit on his server, so if you have that, maybe you can kind of follow along and build your own version of the mine. But if not, and you're just kind of watching this for your own enjoyment, or trying to learn how to pick up a couple of tactics, I can tell you a couple of things that I can teach you, and if you guys want certain videos, we can definitely have those made. Just let me know through the comments. Like right here, I can probably provide a lovely looking Voxel Sniper tutorial, and I can teach all kinds of Voxel Sniper commands and how to use them. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna lay out a nice flat grass bottom here, just layer by layer. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna build this up right here. And then we're going to add final terraforming touches before we go ahead and change over the stone, because what's better than to look at some colorful looking stone on a prison mine. So as I said, we're just gonna go ahead and see him there in the bottom left. That's Dan. Don't tell anybody that Dan's inside the video, he doesn't know. It's all good. Okay, so now that we got the stone all nice and mixed up, let's go ahead and add some grass on the top, because this is going to be more of a nature sort of scene. We're going to need a little bit of grass to bring a little bit of life into the build. So now that we got the grass up here on top, we got the grass here in the middle, there's only one place where grass is really missing, and that would have to be on the inside ring, for which I've already done. So right here I decided to go ahead and build a tower right here, because we need some sort of build to go inside of here. And then I realized maybe a holographic cylinder hollowed out cylinder of 8 is probably not the option, so I went ahead and stuck around with a 5. I think that was around 30 up or something like that. I'm not quite sure how far up that was. If you guys want a tower roof tutorial, go ahead and let me know through the description. As you can see, we're building up this tower quite quickly here, so if you're trying to follow along and try to build a tower just like this, just don't. Just let me know you want the tutorial and I'll get it out. It doesn't actually take that long to make a tutorial on how to build a tower. See, this tower right here, it barely took me any time at all. You know, I asked Dan if he wanted wood or if he wanted blue. And Dan's like, oh yeah, blue sounds like a pretty great idea. And then I looked and I'm like, well, blue isn't going to work because I don't have any slabs. And I want to put some slabs down there at the bottom, so that way we have a finished tower look to it. We're going to go ahead and rotate that around with World Edit to kind of finish off the build. Now I'm looking at this tower and I'm thinking, how in the world am I going to detail this thing? It's massive. So I decided, let's try to break out the middle, and then I had a second idea. I was like, well, what if I was to kind of add like a chain sort of area? Maybe I can build up some sort of like porch on the side of the tower, maybe a window. It was originally meant to be a window. I tried so many different tactics to begin to detail this, but in the end I guess this ended up becoming an arch, because chains just was not going to work, and neither was any of this kind of stuff. So I went ahead and I built myself up there inside the center. I copied it, I flipped it over. Now as you can see us transitioning into the next area here, come around roughly, I'd like to say about a minute. Here after this you're going to see the scene, it's kind of going to jump a tiny bit, however do not flip out, it's because something popped, I had to go AFK, and then came back, and so this is a completely different recording of it. How I was going to blend that all together, I would have zero idea at all. So I'm just adding a little bit of a window onto here, and then I decided, well, this is an awful tall tower, let's go ahead and add some of the base into here. We're going to go ahead and use this nice stone brick detail to the bottom of the tower to kind of really bring that out. We really want to bring out what a nice build this is, and make this look as filled as possible with as little effort. It's minimal effort. And so I was trying to use some world edit, and as you can clearly see, I'm kind of flipping Dan's like weird tower just all over the place. And I decided, well, you know what, it's probably just quicker if I was just to build it myself. So here's that little jump I was about to talk about, and I kind of used a little bit of stone brick to kind of help me out with the spacing and everything. And so I decided, let's go ahead and finish it up with final details, run about halfway around the tower, because you're not actually going to be looking at the back of the tower. Right here I'm beginning to build up the rocks, and this is where the trees are going to sit upon. Now the trees, they're going to be quite big, so I'm going to need some really big rocks. And so I think I placed around maybe 4 or 5 of these around here, and I figured, oh well, it'll do. So I went ahead and added some final terraforming onto there, just because I knew once I started building these wonderful trees, it's not going to work out that way. So as you can see right here, I'm using bedrock as a placeholder for 6-sided wood. And then right here, I'm using bedrock again for a placeholder for a nice blue pane, blue wool, blue clay. It's a bunch of different blocks, but they all come together to make a really nice tree. Now here on the second tree, I wanted to make this tree a little bit different. However, I got a little bit more lazy and I used a little bit of world edit on it. However, I tried to cover that up with a couple of extra blocks, and then I was like, you know what, whatever. I whatever the third tree right here. It was absolutely probably one of the worst trees on the map, but as we all know, you cannot fake roots with world edit, therefore I'm going to have to build those in by hand. Now the rest of the trees right here, I really wanted to make stand out from the rest of them, so I made a small curvy sort of tree, and then here on the other side, as you're seeing right now, we have a spiral sort of tree. I want to make this one like the same sort of style, but I want to make it a little bit bigger, a little bit more aged, because these trees, they're supposed to really bring out inside the build. Now this other one over here, this last tree, I didn't quite catch it through the replay mod because it was just way too quick actually playing this background through. And as you can see, we kind of met the bottom of the world, so the mine's awful shallow. It'll have to get moved up later on. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start building up the gong sort of area for like a selling point. This is where players are gonna be able to sell all the blocks that they are currently mining. So I decided, let's go ahead and come up with a nice little unique roof style with some ups and downs into it. And then let's build an extension up on top, flip that around with world edit, and then we're going to go ahead and build up on that extension there inside the middle, a nice lovely looking roof. It's within the same style, we're going to use everything roughly the same, and then I'm going to use a little bit of stair detailing to kind of add on to this. And eventually I decided I just wanted to leave it the way you see it right now. And down here I wanted to put the board for you to sell your items. However, that didn't work out, and as I was destroying it, I had the idea, what if I was to put a gong right there? So I tried out so many different ideas before I decided finally I just want to use fence as a string, because fence was the thinnest thing available within Minecraft at the second, as you can kind of see a little bit above. And then we need to form it in with a little bit of terraforming, as you can see now. And then the gong sort of area is now completed. Now back here, I wanted to make a little bit of a water sort of scene so that it would be really, really scenic whenever you saw the water and all the plants and life around this water. It would just bring a little bit more life into the mine, because I wanted this to be a little bit more nature-like. So I went ahead and I built up all of the little wheat plots, which would represent like really tall grass, and then the courser as a nice finishing detail into the terrain. And then I'm going to run around with some walls with some stairs, and I'm going to detail the last bits of these trees. Therefore, nearly finishing the build as I finish up with this, and then I'm going to run around and quickly add some final detail off video. But this is what we ended up with. If you guys saw anything in here you would like a tutorial upon, let me know. Otherwise, we're just going to do some really neat speed builds like this one right here. Hopefully I'll get a little bit better at using the mod, better provide a view for you to look at. And I guess that's pretty much it. See y'all later.